So you've decided to buy a home, and now you're staring at the decision. Do I go with brand new construction or buy an existing resale? And on the surface, it might seem like a pretty straightforward choice. One is shiny and untouched, and the other has some character and charm. But when you dig deeper, this decision actually shapes a whole lot more than just the look of your house. It impacts your lifestyle, your routines, your commute, your energy bills, your budget, your weekends, your neighbors, and even your patience levels. This isn't just a real estate choice, it's a life choice. And most people don't realize that until after they've signed the contract. If you're new to my channel, my name is Josh Rogers, team lead of the F3 home team here in Jacksonville. And our team has helped hundreds of families just like yours navigate moves, build custom homes, buy new construction, and find hidden gems in existing neighborhoods. We work with everyone from first-time buyers to growing families, retirees, and military families relocating to Northeast Florida. And what we care about most is not just selling a house, it's helping you find the right house that fits your lifestyle, priorities, and season of life. That's our sweet spot. So if you're watching this and you're seriously considering the move to Jacksonville and need a team of local experts to help you find a home that fits your family needs and lifestyle, just shoot me a text. I'll start by understanding your needs and send you some options. Now let's talk new construction and resale homes and break this down. Let's talk about location. One of the biggest lifestyle trade-offs you're going to see between new construction and resale homes is location. And by that, I mean the actual geography of where you're living day to day. Resale homes are often in older, more established parts of town, closer to downtown Jacksonville, closer to the beaches, closer to work, shopping, and dining. You've got tree-lined streets, mature landscaping, and that lived-in, settled feel that's hard to replicate in a brand new community. Now, on the flip side, most new construction is happening on the outskirts, places like St. Johns County, Nocatee, Silverleaf, and E-Town. These are still growing areas, which means longer drives to certain things, but also more future potential and newer infrastructure. You're probably looking at a longer commute, especially if you work downtown or near the base, but you're also trading that for newer schools, wider sidewalks, and big plans for retail and restaurants that are just getting started. So the question becomes, do you want to be near everything now, or do you want to buy into what's coming? Because that's a lifestyle question, not just a housing one. And speaking of the day-to-day experience, let's now talk about customization and upkeep. Buying new construction often feels like shopping off a menu. You get to choose the floors, the cabinets, the countertops, the paint colors, and sometimes even the layout. That's exciting, and for a lot of people, it gives them a sense of ownership and control that you just don't get with resale. Everything is brand new, under warranty, and low maintenance. You're not worried about replacing a roof in 5 years or an AC unit that's on its last leg. But then that also means you're often waiting months to move in. Builders can get delayed, especially with weather or supply chain issues. So if you're on a tight timeline, resale might actually be a better fit. Now, resale homes do come with their quirks. Maybe the kitchen layout is a little awkward or the finishes are dated, but the upside is what you see is what you get. There are no construction delays, you can usually negotiate the price, and in many cases, you're moving into a home with upgrades the previous owners already invested in, like fencing, window treatments, or a screened patio. So again, the trade-off here is time, effort, and convenience. Do you want to design your dream space from scratch or tweak someone else's dream to fit your own? And while we're on the topic of homes, let's zoom out a little and talk about neighborhood vibes. This is where lifestyle really starts to come into play. New construction neighborhoods are full of fresh starts. Everyone's the new neighbor. There's a lot of energy, a lot of young families, a lot of community events and block parties as people settle in together. The amenities tend to be modern. Think resort-style pools, dog parks, pickleball courts, and food truck Fridays. The HOA is usually active and the whole vibe feels clean, cohesive, and future-focused. Resale neighborhoods, on the other hand, have a different rhythm. The trees are taller, the lots are often larger, and the community is more established. People know their neighbors, they've been there for years, and there's a deeper sense of history and personality in the area. You might not have a splash park or a lazy river, but you'll probably have neighbors who look out for each other and a neighborhood Facebook group that's been running since 2013. So which is better? Well, that depends. Do you want energy and newness or familiarity and character? Do you want curated amenities or a more organic, lived-in feel? Neither is right or wrong. It just depends on what feels like home to you. And while you're thinking through all this, just a quick reminder, if any of this is resonating and you're starting to get serious about buying, just text me. We'll walk through your lifestyle, timeline, and goals to figure out what kind of community actually makes the most sense for you and your family. And speaking of families, let's now talk about schools, taxes, and monthly costs. This is the practical side of lifestyle that sneaks up on people. New construction is often in new school zones, which can be a huge plus if you're looking for newer campuses and strong ratings. A lot of St. Johns County schools, for example, are A-rated and top-ranked in the state, but some of these schools are still growing and adjusting to massive demand, which means rezoning can happen or class sizes can feel big as neighborhoods fill in fast. Older resale areas may have more stable school zones or a wider variety of private school options nearby, especially closer to San Marco, Mandarin, or the South Side. It just depends on what matters more, brand new facilities or proximity to other established education choices. Then there's the money piece. New homes usually come with higher purchase prices, higher CDD fees, and higher HOA dues because you're paying for all that new infrastructure and community development. Resale homes often have lower taxes and minimal HOA costs, especially in older neighborhoods. So don't just look at the sale price. Look at what your monthly out-of-pocket is going to be. That's where lifestyle trade-offs really start to show up. Now let's close this out with something most people overlook completely, which is the timing, patience, and the feel of the home. When you walk into a resale home, you know instantly if it feels right. There's an energy to it, good or bad, and you can picture your life there pretty quickly. Maybe it's the layout, the sunlight, the smell of cookies from the open house, or just something intangible that makes it feel like home. With new construction, that experience is delayed. You're walking through a model, using your imagination, and picking design packages off a board. It's exciting, but also a little risky if you're someone who needs to feel it before you commit. The timeline can stretch from 6 to 12 months or longer, and that requires patience, flexibility, and a willingness to wait. So if you're in a hurry, resale might win. But if you're dreaming of that brand new, untouched, built just for you experience, and you've got the time and flexibility, new construction might be worth it. And at the end of the day, you're not just buying a house, you're buying into a way of life. So slow down, think about what really matters to you day to day, and don't be afraid to ask the hard questions. If you're seriously considering making the move and you're torn between new construction and resale, just text me. I'll help you weigh the pros and cons specific to your situation, your budget, and your goals, and we'll find the right fit without pressure. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this gave you some clarity to move forward with confidence.